Hello, this is Pat Walker, Mission Winners. I'm doing a training coaching video. What's going on here? And I have to share this with you. This is, to me, a very appropriate and profound quote. I never met a wealthy pessimist. I'm not saying that, oh, let's argue with the markets. One thing we can't do as professional investors, we always have to be prepared. We don't know the future, but we do know by studying the past what can happen and be prepared for it. I am not the eternal bull. I am not the eternal bear. I'm just an individual that gets in line with what's happening, never argues with the market action, and it keeps me on the right side of the action all the time. Accept this fact. You are not going to buy at the bottom, and you are not going to sell at the top. So I want to show you something. Like this is the spiders through last week, and it fell on heavy volume, rallied on less volume, fell on heavy volume. It's telling you all through here to be cautious. Many leading stocks were losing their leadership. You could see it over and over. What did it cause us to do? Simply to be cautious and sell more stuff into strength. It's that simple. We don't have to forecast. You don't have to forecast. If you learn how to read the charts, just looking at price and volume. Right now it's chopping around. Look, down on heavy volume, down on heavy volume, up on less volume, down on heavier volume. It's resting on the 50-day. At this point in time, there's not much great leadership. So what have we been doing? As I've stated, we have been selling into strength, locking in gains and backing off any buys. Watch this and see what happens on the 50-day. This was from earlier in September. It's rallying up. It starts to lose the 21-day on a pickup in volume. When it's starting to do this, we sell some. It's not that hard. Starts to lose the 50-day on a pickup in volume, you sell more. You get lighter. Do not ever argue with market action. And then it falls here. All right? So let's advance it one day. Okay, it runs up, gaps up, and reverses down. Nothing's happening. Starts to pick up on a pickup in volume. There's still no real power trend here, okay? Starts to pick up further, okay, on decreasing volume. Quiet inside day. Quiet inside day. Starts to fall on heavy volume. See that volume pickup? Just go, wow, look at that. But you want to notice something here? And this is what we do in Mission Winners. Studying the chart. This low is higher than this low. It's a higher low. Advance it. It's a quiet inside day on less volume, but it closed near the lows of its day. And then it falls again, down to almost double bottoms. But study this. Note the volume on this bar. Note the volume on this bar. Which bar has heavier volume? This one or this one? Even though price is at about the same level. Much heavier volume here than here. Heavier selling here than here. Okay? And what's it do? It gaps up, falls down, and reverses and closes up, okay, on fairly heavy volume. Could that be the bottom? We don't know, but you're always prepared. It falls again and takes out the previous day's lows. But note this, the volume on this bar is less on this bar. And it starts to pick up on less volume. And then, check this out, it gaps down, it falls, and it closes near the highs, and what do you have there? You have a higher low. This low is higher than this low. Advance it. Then you get this. It gaps up, pulls back, pulls back, pulls back on decreasing volume. Note this. This low so far is higher than this low. The simple higher low setup. Gaps up, falls, closes up just a little bit. But this low is higher. Is it the trigger to go all in? No, but we're always prepared. And then it gaps up and lifts. And it does this, and it does this, and it does this, and it does this, and this. If you got negative and said, there's nothing going on here, you missed this, and this, and this. We didn't. It's simply being partially optimistic, partially realistic, analyzing price and volume. The simple higher-low setup. Another example, right here. Falls on heavy volume. This is the spiders. And then it lifts up. And then it falls down, and then it falls again. How's the volume on this bar versus this bar? It's less. It's on the 50-day. Now, does that mean it's going to bounce there? No, we will let price and volume guide us. Does this, you go, oh my gosh, I'm glad I didn't buy. I'm in agreement. We didn't, okay? It didn't trigger here. And then it does this on fairly heavy volume. So you have a lower low here, but what else do you have? And it's simple. You have a higher low here. This low is higher than this low. And it's doing what? It's bouncing off the 50-day. Gaps up and closes down on less volume at the 50-day. And then it starts to lift again. Let's see what happens. Does this, does this. And there you go. Meanders, pulls back to the 50-day, and then runs again. A higher low. This low is higher than this low. It's not fancy. This low is higher than this low. And what's it tell us? And that's a nice trend. Always be ready. Always be prepared. I'm going to do another one here just to show you an example. Here's another example. Drops hard here. Look at this. How about this bar? Oh, that's an ugly red bar, Pat. Look closely at it. It gaps down. This is why I love bar charts. It gaps down. See the open? Falls and closes near the highs on heavy volume. You go, hey, that sucker's below the 200-day, man. That's the end of the dang world. It's over. At this point in time, yeah, we didn't own anything. We're out. Then it lifts up. It's not time to buy. You've got to wait. Get confirmation. It falls. And you can say, well, I see one thing here. On these bars, it's falling on really heavy volume. It fell on fairly heavy volume on this bar, but the volume on this bar was less than on this bar. And then it fell again on less volume. The volume on this bar is less than on this bar. Is it time to buy? No, but there's support on the 200-day. It's something worth watching. And you don't need to look at the daily. You don't need to look at 15-minute charts and 10-minute charts. Just watch the daily. Oh, it drops. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad we didn't buy. I agree. But note this, it gaps down, it falls, and closes near the highs on a pickup in volume. And what else do you notice, folks? This low is higher than this low, and it did it on a pickup in volume. Perhaps that's the bottom. Do we have to buy here? No, but we'll look for confirmation. Oh, good. It's good we didn't buy. Look at that. Notice I said we have to wait for confirmation. Look what it does. It's like, man, I'm glad I didn't buy. Good job. Then it gaps up and closes near the highs, but on less volume than it fell. Oh, man, look at that. Takes out the low. Wow, that's just like, oh, man, that's, as they say, that's going to leave a mark. Oh, that's going to leave a mark. Yeah. Oh, it picks up. But notice, you've got lower lows. This low is lower than this low. This low is lower than this low. It's simple. You don't need to argue with it. We don't need a forecast. It'll tell us what to do. Just get in line with it. And then it drops again. Ain't that wicked? Okay, and it lifts up, but there's nothing happening. Oh, it falls again. Folks, we were out for this entire decline. That's 100 points on the spiders. We were out. You just leave it alone. You just wait. It will tell you what to do. An inside bar, and it drops again, and it drops again. And then it lifts. It gaps up. No real volume here. Starts to pick up. Okay, some volume pickup. That's positive. Oh, it's starting to pick up. Are we going to say this is the bottom? We don't know yet because it's done it before and it keeps dropping. Okay, an inside bar on less volume. Starts to pick up. Down a little bit. Starts to drop again on slightly less volume. An inside bar. But now what do you note? And this is what's so important. This low is higher than this low. Is it going to hold? We don't know the future, but we know that this low is higher than this low, and that's useful. This low is lower than this low. This low is lower than this low. This low is lower than this low. Okay? Notice that? We're looking for a higher low. So far, we have a higher low. Something to watch for. Quiet bar. Oh, it starts to pick up on a pickup in volume. Do you see that? That's power. And what do you see there? A higher low lifting off, pushing through the moving averages on a pickup in volume. Oh, look at this. Gaps up and closes down. All right, we got to watch that. Oh, picks up a little bit. We're still okay. Starts to lift. Oh, that's all right. It's a down bar and low volume. Starts to pick up on a pickup in volume. Quiet bar. And again, you use this as a trigger. It was a higher low. You're in. Okay. Oh, it's down, but it's still above the higher low. Okay, let's watch it. Quiet. 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 I drew these lines from before. Down. on the 20-day, 21-day, meandering, comes down here, bounces off. And again, this low is still higher than this low. Right here, close to a double bottom, still intact. That's the 200-day. And there you go. Pulls back. And I'll do this. I'll shrink it more. There you go. What do you see there, folks? What do you see? That was a nice trend. Look at that. High or low setup runs. Our VIPs did this. We did this. We called this out. And it's not forecasting. It's simply a case of waiting for bigger picture setups. And that was a nice run. We can get negative, all right, and say there's nothing going to happen. The better thing to do is this. A lot of people just throw up their hands like, I've had it with this crud. No, it's a business. We can't quit. No, you keep going. It's what we do at Mission Winners. And the best part is this. We know what to look for. And now you do too.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.